Okay, we are recording.
We
It's
are.
happening. This is the third time out of the gate that we have. Jesus,
Did
Lord.
the cat just terrify you?
No, it was this
Oh
reflector.
my
I
God.
had it up on the shelf and it popped out at me. That's okay. It
That's
just
a
means we
great
got
sign.
good energy.
Yeah.
Um, that's a note. This hi, I'm Karyn Bensinger,
I'm Scout Kirkpatrick.
and this is a podcast called Best Picture.
Question mark?
Yes. This is an idea for a podcast that we kind of came up with the other night. And I thought, what a fun idea. It'll be real easy and real like a simple setup and it won't be a problem. And then we spent probably, I don't know, an hour between
Just figuring things out.
setting up the logistics. We're in the same apartment, but we wanted to be able to record independently. So it was, where do we go? How do we light it? What are we doing? A lot was happening. You don't care about that, listener, or maybe you do. Maybe you're like me, and when people are on a podcast going, no one's going to want to listen to this, I'm like, you're talking about stuff that I think is fascinating. So anyway, but this podcast is centered around Best Picture nominees for the Academy Awards. It was born out of us watching the film Norma Ray,
Mhm.
which I had not seen, you had not seen,
Nope.
and we learned a lot about unions and
We
people
admired
who
Sally Field.
we admired Sally Field. And I was looking at the cover of the Blu-ray, and it was nominated for 4 Academy Awards, and then that just got me thinking about all the films that win Best Picture, and how some aren't as memorable as the ones that didn't win, and how we talk about them. And so I thought it would be a fun experiment to take on this idea of what makes the best picture. That makes it sound far more academic and intellectual than it is. In short, what we're going to do is literally draw a year out of a hat, not a hat, a cup. A cup can be a hat if you want it to.
It's true.
So we'll draw a year from a range that I've selected based on my experience as a film goer. And we're going to watch all 5 films, not in one sitting, but over the course of 5 weeks. And I'd love to have guests on here if you're listening to this going, hey, I would like to see some Best Picture nominees. Then let's talk. We can get that going.
Yeah, please.
Clerk's not ever a Best Picture, but a great picture.
Definitely.
I assure you, it's a good one. So yeah, so I'm framing this up. This is like the nuts and bolts part of the podcast, I guess. I'm framing this up that each season of this podcast will be a year. We're not going to go in any particular order. The only real sequence to any of this will be once we choose the year, the first film we watch will be the Best Picture nominee. I mean, sorry, no, the Best Picture winner. It will have in fact been nominated and then won an award.
It'll be both.
It will be both. So we can watch it and discuss it about why we feel it was probably chosen for Best Picture. And again, I know a lot of people have a lot of opinions about how award shows work and the politics of it all. And this is really just to kind of look at it from a craftsman perspective, I guess, and as a film goer perspective, so that we can watch the Best Picture and then in the following weeks watch the nominees and see what we like about the ones that didn't win or disliked, and a little compare and contrast, something little summer project.
Yeah. Well, and you're such a film person that it's kind of, yeah, as you can see
by everything around me. And this is so what makes this fun for me. Really, this is a fun project just for us, I guess, is in the way that this podcast idea really developed was we were playing a game after the Norma Ray viewing, where I had looked up a year and made me guess what else was nominated in 1999, because 99 was a great year for film. So
yeah,
we had a whole experience of walking through all that. And the thing about Best Picture nominees is they're not always the most popular films. And so I don't know, I'm a little bit, I'll see how I do So the span I've selected is I picked a handful of years, maybe 10 of them currently, since we had to restart this recording. There are now 10 in the cup between 1985 and 2005. I looked at my letterboxd, saw the years where I kind of had the most viewings in that year. Viewings of films from that year, not the most films I saw in a year.
Yeah.
And so I based it on that just so that I give myself a little bit of an advantage to know a little bit about it. But the fun part for me, I guess, hopefully for a listener or two, is the process of trying to figure out what's what. So I'm going to hand it off to you if you want to draw a 4-digit code out of that Carol Danvers cup.
Yeah, here we go. The years are in this cup.
Here, the scraping. Yeah, now this is the ASMR part of the podcast.
Yeah, it's real nice. Yeah, ooh, I like that. Okay. I have a year in my hand. And it is 1989.
So for the listeners, the year that we just were trying to do and we had a technical difficulty was 1987. So I was not hoping, but I was expecting a different decade, not just like another one. But that's great. Okay. So, and also to clarify, so the year that you have chosen will be the year the films were released. So you're actually going to now look up the awards for 1990, the awards that aired in 1990.
Mm-hmm.
And these will be the films from 1989. And we'll see what happens.
Oh, why isn't it giving me a nice... Oh, here we go. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Let me look up the winner so I know.
And what makes this interesting as well is I am a self-proclaimed film nerd, as I am, if an earthquake happened right now, it would be buried alive in physical media. Tapes. You and I grew up a little bit differently in regard to, I think, how many movies we were exposed to. I'm slightly older than you are. I was of movie-going age by the end of the 80s. Mm-hmm. I would have been, so in 89, I would have been 11. 11!
I would have been 4.
So you probably weren't seeing the same films I was.
No.
At the time.
Yeah, and I mean, and I'm someone who likes movies, but I'm not a film nerd. So I'm a little bit less proficient, shall we say.
You still bust out with some.
I mean, there's a couple of films I've seen that you haven't, but it's not a lot.
Well, by the end of this, you will have seen many Best Picture nominees, and then you can be a self-proclaimed film nerd yourself. And the rules here are I'm not allowed to look anything up. My computer is being held up by a film encyclopedia and a film history book. And I will not be using those to look anything up. I might consult the shelves.
I mean, it is right next to you.
But I won't check any dates. I'll try to keep it authentic.
All right.
Okay, so 89.
Yeah, so Academy Award of 1990. So right off the bat, I can say that I've definitely seen one of them. I've heard of 3. There's one I'm not actually sure if I saw or not. And then there's 2 that there's one I think I've kind of heard of, but barely, and one that I've never heard of. So.
Okay. So you said you've seen one?
Yes.
Okay. Let's start with the one you've seen.
Man, okay. So it's, how do I even describe it? It's like a...
Did I say that the goal of this portion of the program is I'm going to try to guess what the 5 are? I don't know if I said that or not.
Oh, I don't know if you did either.
And you're going to give me clues.
At this point, it's obvious.
Okay. Well, I hope.
So this one is one that I saw in high school.
Okay.
And that I feel like it's kind of geared toward that age range anyway. Hold on, let me see what it's rated. Oh, it's actually rated PG. But it has some things about it that are kind of specific to my interests, I guess, in terms of literature. And it definitely has like an iconic line slash, I think it's the final scene that people quote. And I mean, if I
So
tell you who's in it, you'll know right away.
when you say literature, does that mean it's based on a piece of literature, or it's about like the literary world?
Yeah, it's kind of about literature and love of literature and also love of drama.
From 89.
Mm-hmm. And
Love of literature, Dead Poets Society.
yeah.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
That is right here.
There it is.
Solid. I didn't even have to pull it up. Okay. That was easy.
Yeah.
Now, picture that I did not look at that box. Did this win Best Picture? No, it did not. Did it? No.
Or do you want me to answer?
No. You know what?
Yeah, you know what? Let's wait until
and
the
I'll
end.
try to decide. I'll try to make a choice.
Okay.
Or I will make a choice.
Yeah, and you'll have to.
All right, Dead Poet Society. Okay.
Okay. There's one. Let me see if I think I've seen this one, because there's one I'm not really sure of. No, I don't think I have, but I definitely watched a lot of similar movies as a kid. So I think that's why it comes to mind. It's also rated PG. And it has also a very iconic line I can see right now that gets quoted. And do you want to know like the general genre?
The general genre?
The general genre. I mean, I don't even know.
Yeah, give me the genre. Let's see if I can.
I mean, I think it's a lot more than this, but there's a sports element to it.
Is it Chariots of Fire?
It is not.
I'm gonna guess Chariots of Fire every time, and I know Chariots of Fire did not come out in '89. So there's a sports element to it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's about more than that.
Well, what does that?
Well, okay, it's classified as a fantasy genre, or fantasy drama genre, but
there's a sports element to
the sports element.
Is it Field of Dreams?
Yes.
Okay.
I was like, that's what made me think I'd watched it, because I saw a lot of baseball movies as a kid.
Oh, is that one right here? It would be real funny if I was like, "Oh, you're being Field of Dreams."
Oh, here it is.
Actually,
yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if you had it.
No, I do have it. I just don't think it's in immediate reach. Okay.
Okay. So the other one that I've definitely heard of is very well known. I'm trying to think of how to describe it without giving it away immediately.
Give me a hint about perhaps who a leading performer is, or a director.
Yeah. So let's see.
Is it Empire of the Sun? No, it's not.
No. So let's see. So someone from this isn't going to help you much, but I believe this person was in Fried Green Tomatoes. She's in it.
Jessica Tandy?
Yeah.
Is it Driving Miss Daisy?
It is. I shouldn't have given the gender.
I would have.
You would have gotten there pretty quickly anyway, but.
Okay. Done. Next.
I didn't want to give away Morgan Freeman either, because that was too obvious.
Fair.
Okay. So this one, I think I've kind of heard of. I'm trying to see what it's actually about. Okay, this looks like this is an anti-war drama with a director that's well known enough that I have definitely heard of them.
An anti-war drama?
That's what it says.
Born on the 4th of July?
Yes.
Damn.
And
That's the first one I haven't seen on this list.
And this one I've never heard of, so let's see. Okay, this is a biographical comedy drama. It looks like it was, let's see, it says it's adapted from something. Let me see. Oh, and now when I click, I can't see what it might be adapted from. Anyway, it looks like it's about someone who has a disability, perhaps. It's not one I've ever heard of. So let's see. And let's see who's in it.
It's not a disability you've ever heard of, or a film you've ever heard
No,
of?
no, it's not a film I've ever heard of. Sorry, like... no, it's definitely okay, so it has a lot of names I don't recognize, but one I do. Let me see if I can give you a good clue about this name.
So biographical, you said a comedy drama?
That's what it says, yes.
Biographical comedy drama, 1989.
So, okay, there's a movie. So this guy is both British and Irish. This looks like it might actually be like a movie from the UK. But the name that I've heard of is in, I don't know if I should just give away a movie that you watched that I didn't.
I mean, at this point, go ahead.
So he's in Phantom Thread. And
oh, Daniel Day-Lewis. Is it 89? Is it My Left Foot?
Yeah.
All right.
That one was a mystery to me. Sounds interesting though.
Okay, so 2 of these I haven't seen. 3 of them I have. I haven't seen any of them in a while. I'm gonna okay, I'm pretty sure that Jessica Tandy won for best actress or support. I don't know what she would have been, supporting or best. I think she would have been best. I think she won for Driving Miss Daisy that year.
Let's see.
But I think best picture went to Born on the 4th of July.
Is that your final answer?
But I think Daniel Day-Lewis won for best actor for My Left Foot.
I mean, I don't know that I can fact check all of this for you, but do you want to know if you're right about the best picture?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Born on the 4th of July.
No, Driving Miss Daisy.
It did. See, this is why we're gonna get into this discussion, even though I haven't seen the film. I thought that was the winner. I just remember, this is interesting because this is I definitely saw Field of Dreams and Driving Miss Daisy probably around the time of release. Dead Poet Society I don't think I saw until high school, because I think I saw that like on a rental, and the other 2 I've never seen.
High school.
So all right, so that means that we are going to open this podcast with Driving Miss Daisy.
Yep.
Ooh, okay. This will be interesting because this is one of those films that is about complicated issues. Well, in saying that, I think that it's probably a pretty watered down version of like complicated like race issues and conversations around that. So we'll see what 1989 had to offer in that regard.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy. So you've only seen Dead Poets. Did you decide you had seen Field of Dreams, or you weren't sure?
I don't think I have. No, I am pretty sure I've only seen Dead Poets Society.
Well,
I know that I've seen Dead Poets Society.
I quite enjoy Field of Dreams. Oh, I used to. I don't know. We'll see. I haven't seen it in probably 20 years more. Yeah. I don't know. Kevin Costner, man, he had a good run. I don't know
Yeah,
why I
that's
had to
true.
do this big like hands thing. Okay, so that means that we're gonna open the bid. Opening bid is Driving Miss Daisy. We will give it a watch. I'm gonna wrangle somebody into also watching it and coming to have a conversation with us about it. And we'll talk about why we think it won. We'll talk about what we did and didn't like about the I'm not a listen, I'm not a heavy film critic in most cases. You give me a movie that's pretty well put together and I'm going to find something to love about it in most cases.
You just love movies.
I do just love movies. And it's interesting because I feel like, and this just might be the lens of like me looking at through like the lens of my experience, but these all feel like the same tone. Tone isn't the right word. I don't know. I think it's just because I remember at least 4 of these films. My Left Foot's the only one I really don't have a lot of experience with. Just meaning that like when I was a kid, I don't really remember anything about that. But I remember because Tom Cruise was in Born on the 4th of July and it was a big deal that he like did this whole like physical transformation in playing this war veteran, driving McDaisy. That's the sponsored version.
God.
I mean, I saw that when it came out in Field of Dreams. I saw it when it came out, and like those two both feel like they're talking about it. Even Dead Poet Society, those even Born on the 4th of July. I just feel like they're all like talking about a certain era. If this makes sense, like in my mind, just like they all fit in the same basket in some way, shape, or form. In ways that I think other years that we've kind of talked about, maybe they don't. And so I think that's interesting. I think that all of these, what I know about all 5 of these films is it does feel like kind of punctuating the end of the 80s moving into the 90s. And I think it'll be a fun watch. I think I'm excited that it's a mix of kind of a couple of films I've really, really enjoyed and some new stuff for me to see. And I also want to, I guess this is a disclaimer anyone discussing the cinematic arts kind of has to put on it now, is that we're always going to run into, I think, problematic people and problematic perhaps films. For sure. And I think I just want to address them kind of objectively and just know that I guess we'll take each thing case by case, but I don't know. We'll have fun. It's the cinema. I enjoy it, and we're gonna do this. All so right. I guess that's the wrap on that part. I'm trying to look for a time code. I don't know how long we've been recording. It's okay. Not to worry. So the next episode will be a completely different format, but with each little season we do of selecting a year, there will be this kind of intro episode with the game. And then if people aren't really into that and they don't care, you can skip on over to the ones where we're just talking about the films. That's fine. I am not expecting people are gonna. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I just keep talking because I have a microphone in front of me. I think I'm trying to say I'm not offended if you're like, I don't need to hear the chit chat. I just want to hear the film criticism. Granted, none of us are certified film critics. I'm just a film fan, and I've dragged you along for the ride, and we're gonna hook some other people in and talk about some movies. So on that note, I think I'd like to say, oh boy.
Yeah, that sums it up.
You can, if you care to look me up on Letterboxd, I'm over there at KBen Writes. Am I KBen Writes? Maybe I'm KBenzy. Let me tell you, let's do this. On Twitter and Instagram, I'm KBen Writes. That's KBenWrites. On maybe I changed my Letterboxd to the same thing. Pop KBen Writes into Letterboxd and see if it comes up with me and all my films that I've watched over the last period of time. And you don't want to be found online, so
Yeah.
you got nothing to pitch right now, do you?
No, it's fine. I mean,
I got enough for I got us
yeah,
covered.
you're fine. Maybe someday I'll let you know where you can find me.
Who knows? I know where to find you.
Well, yeah. In the apartment.
Yeah, around the corner.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I thank the listeners for listening to this. Wow, this good times fun cast, and we will be back. I can't give you a timestamp on it, but soon, and we'll figure out a schedule and we'll do this. This has been a test of the uh, cinematic experience broadcast system, and I can't stop talking. I just have to keep rambling on, and that's not a good sign. That's not a good sign of a quality pod. All right, I want to thank everybody.
I guess that's it.
Why am I ending like I'm ending like a Saturday Night Live episode? I want to thank
you,
Lady
everybody.
Gaga for being here.
But without that great song playing.
Can we just listen? I want to go out on this note. Can we all agree? Do we all understand that the closing song for SNL is like the most soothing and beautiful? Like, if I were getting a massage, I would want that on a loop. Like, I would just it relaxes me so much that it's unreal. I don't know. I think it's because I used to fall asleep to like a tape of SNL. Anyway, great trivia. We're out of here.
All right.